Hey guys, welcome back to REWATCH podcast with Matt and Allie.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Allie. And this week we're doing, I think, a pretty cool episode. I'm sure so many of you have seen advertisements, maybe you've seen the actual movie, but Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey just came out, and we thought it'd be such a great opportunity we just watched it together, and we thought it'd be really cool to compare this new one from 2026 to the 1997 TV version.
Athena, my goddess, you have always protected me. Tell me, is there no way to avoid this war?
We sail for Troy.
God be with us.
Promise me you'll return.
I cannot. I am Odysseus, and this is my story.
Here before the gods and your own people!
My brave Odysseus, your destiny is to do battle.
Do you see? I conquered Troy!
You forget, a man is nothing without the gods. For your arrogance will drift on my sea for an eternity.
Ah! This is the island of a sorceress!
Never again will you reach the shores of Ithaca.
After years of war, no one could stand between my men and home. Not even me.
Excellent. So here's our little background for that. So I'm a huge Greek mythology fan, as is
And
Allie,
I'm yeah.
of course, because I got her into it when she was growing up.
Alright, you want to just take the credit for it?
Well, credit what credit's due. I mean, I did get you into it. So I showed her the 1997 miniseries years ago when she was much younger, and she liked it. And she knew how jazzed I was to see this new one. So when it was coming out, she actually bought me tickets for Father's Day for us to go see it together. So we did, and then I had the idea that let's go ahead and rewatch the miniseries again and do a comparison episode, since this is REWATCH and GenX podcast, and the 97 miniseries does fall under our
GenX.
Exactly, GenX time era. But we can also kind of cheat and do a review of a new movie too. Which we're both.
Which I think it's cool because I'm
about.
Gen Z, and this is like a Gen Z movie, kind of in a sense.
Yeah, and I'm Gen X, and the other one was more of a Gen X movie. So there you go. They're about almost 30 years apart.
Yeah, almost exactly.
Yeah. So, how do you want to get started? Do you want to do grades first, or do you want to grades last?
Let's spice it up a little bit. Let's do grades last. Let's just start with casting call. Yeah, I think it's kind of the boring part out of the way.
So we're not going to go over like everyone's filmography. We're just going to mention some of the major players in each cast. Okay, so casting call. So start with the 1987 miniseries. We have Armand Assante as Odysseus, Greta Scacchi as Penelope, Vanessa Williams as Calypso, Nicholas Clay, who's pretty much an unknown, as Menelaus. I think I'm saying that right. Menelaus.
I don't know.
Odysseus' son. We have...
Odysseus' son is Telemachus.
Menelaus is... I'm sorry. No, I apologize. We have Nicholas Clay as Menelaus, who is the king of Sparta. I apologize.
Oh, yes.
My apologies. We have... Alan Stenson as Telemachus, who is pretty much an unknown. And then we have Tony Vogel as Eumaeus, who is like the old...
That's like his
old servant. Yeah, and he's barely in it. He has a much smaller role than the new one. And then we have the wonderful classic Geraldine Chaplin, who's actually like the granddaughter, I think, to Charlie Chaplin. She's a fantastic old time actress, and she has an excellent extended part for Euclea, who is like the old lady who works for Odysseus and Penelope. She's barely in the new
The one
movie.
that washes the feet?
Yes.
She doesn't have that big of a part in the
She
new,
doesn't.
in the old one.
In the old one, she does. Yeah, Geraldine Joplin. She's the
Like,
one who's she's like doing
barely.
this. No, she's in it a lot. She's in it a lot. She barely has a part in the new one. So in the new
Yeah.
one, she is barely in it. She's played by Layla Farzad. And then Eumaeus has a much larger role in the new one.
And I think I know that actor. I've seen him somewhere.
John Leguizamo. Oh yeah, he's in a ton of stuff. I've been watching him my whole life. Yeah, he's in a million
But they made him
things.
look really old in this.
They did. Yeah. So we have Tom Harlan as Telemachus.
No, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland as
Everyone
Telemachus.
knows Tom Holland. You can't butcher his name.
All right. Spider-Man is Telemachus. John Bernthal is Menelaus, the King of Sparta. We have Charlize Theron as Calypso, the role Vanessa Williams played.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne Hathaway is Penelope. And Matt Damon, of course, is Odysseus. Oh, in addition to that, Agamemnon is played by, I think it's Yorgo Boyagius. I don't really know who he is. And the old one. And then Benny Safdie plays Agamemnon in the new one. It's a small role for both of them.
You don't even see Benny's face.
Barely.
But
yeah.
Agamemnon was really good in the new one.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Okay.
You didn't like him? I've seen so many. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, we'll get to that.
Maybe it's like TikTok, like in my head. But
and then also,
Menelaus.
Menelaus was played by John Bernthal in the new one, The Punisher, and then Nicholas Clay played him in the old one. It's so funny that there's like 3 actors from the MCU, from the new Spider-Man movie coming out, Spider-Man 4.
Mm-hmm.
3 of those actors are in the new one.
Who's the
John
third?
Bernthal is the Punisher,
John
who's gonna debut in the and for the movies. He's gonna debut in Spider-Man 4, and then of course Spider-Man and MJ.
Yeah.
We didn't mention
Zendaya.
Zendaya was Athena, and
she's such a queen.
I can't remember the actress's name who plays Athena in the old one.
I don't really think it matters.
No, we'll yeah.
But anyways, did you know that? Fun fact: Christopher Nolan, the only person that he said that Zendaya, like after her scene, he was like perfect, and he didn't say that to anyone else.
Okay,
she got a perfect.
So, we're gonna do some comparisons to the movies.
Right. We both have some notes.
Yes.
So I low-key just want to go chronologically.
Okay.
You can kind of start, and we'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
So we're not really gonna give a whole what's it called? Wait.
No, we're not doing a synopsis.
We're not doing a synopsis because technically we would have to do like 3 for you guys to really get it, because Homer's OG poem and then the 1997 and the 2026, it'd be a lot.
And even if we did the synopsis for one of them, it's a long movie.
Right.
It would just take too long.
And I don't know. I just feel like if you know the story, you know the story. And if you don't, go watch one of the movies or read the poem. Yeah. Better yet.
Yeah. Speaking of story, let's start with story. We're going to say, who did it better. And so for the 1997 miniseries, I appreciate that it does include the Phaeacians. Okay.
I don't know who those are.
The Phaeacians were the people who, when Odysseus leaves Calypso, he actually doesn't go straight to his home. He actually goes to that island first, where he has another little mini adventure, and then they give him a boat and he goes off. So that's completely omitted from the new one.
Which I low-key feel like it wasn't necessary.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
I just feel like it was not.
Well, I'm kind
of. What did he do there? Like nothing?
All right. So it also, the 1997 one also omits the Lastrogonians. I'm probably butchering the name, but it's the cattle. The
Lastrogonians.
The Lastrogonians, which is the giant, man-eating giants. It is included.
It omits that one.
It completely takes it out. And then the new one actually does have it. Although
I don't like the way they look.
I don't either. They're wearing armor from like the 14th century.
I don't
It's
think
like medieval knight
I don't
armor.
think cannibals would be wearing armor. I don't
No,
know. I
it
just
didn't even mention that they're cannibals either. They're just like killing them. They're just recklessly killing
well, they're
them.
supposed to be cannibals.
They are, but instead of cannibal, these cannibal beasts,
I
these
think it
cannibal
would look
giants.
cooler if they actually were like giants
Yeah.
that like
Yeah, they were like look like cannibals. Yeah, and instead they're like dressed in medieval knights garment and like.
And I thought it was a little bit odd how
It's like about three millennia off.
I don't know. But it wasn't a bad scene per se.
No, I mean it's a tense scene, and you're like on the edge of your seat for it, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So a couple other things. The 97 one also omits the attack on Telemachus when he the suitors hire the bandits to go after Telemachus. That's like omitted from the 97 movie.
Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. When he leaves.
Yes.
When he leaves Ithaca.
So, like I said before, the 2026 film does include the cattle of Helios, which the other one omits.
The cattle as well? Oh, yeah, when the men eat the cattle.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Which I personally feel like that's very important because in the 1997 version, his men just happened to all die during the whirlpool. No.
Yeah.
Yes, the whirlpool. And that's not what happens in the poem.
No.
It's because of the cattle, and I don't like that they didn't.
Yeah, so like Zeus actually destroys the crew after they eat the cattle.
Right, and Odysseus is the only one who survives, which I don't like that it was like, oh, it just happened to be a coincidence that he survives in the 1997. No, it happens for a reason. Yeah.
So they also, the 2026 film takes out the whole nobody scene with the Cyclops, which we were disappointed about. And they could have easily done it because they did make the Cyclops talk. They're like, oh, the beast can talk.
Yeah.
So I thought for sure when they said, oh, it can talk, they're going to be like, they're going to have that scene.
I prefer the Cyclops scene in the 1997 version, and I wrote down that this scene is my favorite because if you read the actual poem, it talks a lot about Odysseus' character. Character is very important in this, and it talks about his strengths and his flaws. You know that his strength is his cleverness. That also happens to be a weakness because of his pride. And I love this scene because it shows how his cleverness is used, and I love it so much. It's such a character moment.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed that they took it out because I feel like they could have easily left that in. It would have been so good. And it was so fun for me to read that part and see it on TV.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that they didn't include it.
I am too. Version. Although I will say I did like the look of the Cyclops in the 2026 version better. It was creepy as heck. It looked deformed, instead of just like having one eye in the middle, the top of the face was like sideways. The nose was sideways and the eye was sideways. It looked cool, man.
It was
and
cool.
Creepy.
I like them both differently. I think the 1987 version, I was able to feel a little bit more sympathy for the Cyclops just because it looked a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
And I think that I have always felt sympathy for the Cyclops because they entered his house, they took his food, they tricked him, they stabbed him in the eye. Like I think he's very much a victim, and he he ate the men, but like that's all he knows. Like I don't know. I feel very sympathetic towards the Cyclops, and I think that the 1997 version, the way he looked, allowed me to do that a little bit better, and the fact that he talks more also allowed me to do that. I think the 2026 version kind of, not that he's human, but it kind of dehumanized him in a way. It was just like, ugh.
And also, finally, the newer one changes the ending. Like, not a lot. So
I don't think
not
it's
as
that
much,
important.
not as much as I thought they were going to change it. Because I thought, and spoiler, we're going to have a few spoilers. I'm sorry, but we are.
That's why I said if you haven't seen if you don't know the story of the Odyssey, I would highly, highly recommend go watch it. Yeah. I think the 2026 version, or read it. My highest recommendation is read it because I loved reading the story. Yeah. If you can read it because I think it's such a good story.
Yeah, I've read it twice, both because it's in I think it's called Bullfish's Mythology. It's like a huge tomb that has pretty much everything mythology related, from like Greek, Roman, Nordic.
Yeah.
Later on, the Arthurian tales, and then the French, the Welsh Arthurian, the French Arthurian, the Charlemagne stories. Anyway, on the Historia Britannica stuff. Anyway, so it's really good, but it's in that, and Anyway, so yeah, they changed it a little bit because I thought they were gonna kill him because when he was getting like stabbed so much
After
in
the
in the
battle?
final battle scene, he was getting stabbed so many times. I was like, oh my god, are they gonna kill him off? Are they really gonna do
They
that?
kind of made it seem like
And
they
they kind
were
of make it
going
seem like
to.
they did kill him off,
Yeah.
right? But then you see that he didn't kill him off, but they do make him get exiled, and so he sails off with Penelope on a ship, and he's no longer the king of of Ithaca, and they sail off together. So I was glad they didn't kill him. So
And I think that
that was gonna get me really mad.
if you don't know the story previously, I think that was a nice ending. If like you would think that makes sense.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think it changes the
Mhm.
story really
Yeah.
at all. And I think it's a cute thing
Mhm.
because of the sort of emphasis that they put on like Anne Hathaway's like, oh, let's run away towards
Yeah.
the never-ending sun. I like that they kind of had their
Yeah, and then
ending.
as far as like the monsters, so I don't like that the 97 version combines Skyla and
Scylla and Charybdis.
Scylla and Charybdis, yes. Like
In what
why?
way?
It was like the same monster. So
Well, I don't know.
they don't
I
make
think-
a choice. There's no like
I
great
think they
choice.
portrayed it incorrectly
Yeah.
because the 26 version did have them
They
actually
did it perfectly.
choose,
Yeah.
and the monsters are corrected,
Yeah.
represented correctly.
Yes.
And so I think that the reason that they didn't have them choose is so that they could kill the crew off without the cattle.
Okay.
That's why they didn't have them choose, because they needed a way to kill the crew off without having Zeus do it.
Yeah. Okay.
But in the Homer's version, the crew
You mean
must pick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the Homer's version,
Yeah.
they pick either the giant whirlpool
Mhm.
or the monsters.
Yeah.
And so the 2026 version does
Mhm.
it very well. It clearly shows the path, either the six-headed monster or the whirlpool. But they
Yeah.
don't know it's the six-headed monster until
Yeah.
it's
So another thing, I'm not even sure if I have it in my notes, but one thing I liked about the 97 version better was when they go into Hades.
Okay.
I thought
so
they really just
I
cheaped
have
out
this
on
here
Hades in
too.
the
Okay.
2026 movie.
Sorry, mine is kind of chronological and yours is like
Oh.
different. So I'm kind of just hopping around.
Okay.
But I wrote down I prefer the Hades scene in the old one so much more. I feel like the new one kind of skipped out on it so much. However, I like the script and dialogue a lot of the
Mhm.
the new one. I love Sinon, I
Yeah.
believe is his name. I like his scene. I like
Okay.
Agamemnon, I believe is in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah. Mhm.
the dialogue that happens, and
Okay.
also between what is the guy's name that like actually tells.
Oh, the
Odysseus?
fortune teller guy.
It starts with a T. It's like Tiresias.
Yes,
It's
Tiresias.
I like
yes.
him as well. Better in the new one. I like the dialogue. However, the actual portrayal of the underworld, I think, is so much better in the old one. That's how I imagined the
Yeah.
underworld when I was little. That's how I pictured it, an actual underworld, not just like on a beach where you summon the
Yeah.
dead. I didn't like that. I feel like for a movie with such a large budget, they really cheaped out on it,
Yeah.
and they chose something that didn't make sense to me. And I also wanted to point out, just because I
Mhm.
love Greek mythology, I've seen many things, and one of the things that we both have watched is Percy Jackson, the original movies, as well as the show, but
Yeah.
the original movies back in the 2000s, that is my perfect picture of the underworld. I feel like they did it so well. I think the fire and the Hades himself, I love it, and I think that that's the best way I've
I
seen the
agree with
underworld
you.
done.
They definitely did a good job, and I will say that what is the blind whatever
Tiresias?
Tiresias, played by Christopher Lee in the old one, the great Christopher Lee. If you don't know who that is,
Yeah.
he was Count Dooku in the Star Wars movies. He was Sauron in the Lord of the Rings movies, and of course he was known for Dracula and all these other way back in the day.
Actor,
Huge actor, and he has a great cameo.
He might just be the biggest actor in the TV version.
Pretty close to it, yeah. So he's great in that. So real quick, I just want to mention the look, and did it feel authentic? So the 97 miniseries felt more like the Hollywood Roman look. They're all kind of wearing togas and stuff, and that's not really how they dressed in ancient Greece. But that is kind of how ancient Greece is portrayed in all the older movies, like the old 50s and 60s movies.
Yeah, with
that's
the togas.
Yeah. And I do think, with one or two exceptions, the 2026 version is very authentic to Mycenaean costumes, with the exception of Agamemnon, which I know you liked it, but I thought it was ridiculous. It's was he Darth Vader?
I don't know. We talked about this. I saw a
Yeah.
TikTok. I thought it was really funny. I just want to talk about it here, just because
Sure.
maybe you guys will think it was funny. But the whole like Troy scene when like the Greeks actually like invade Troy, like the rest of them, not the ones in the
Mhm.
horse. And they're all waiting at the gate.
Yeah.
And I saw this TikTok of this guy, pretending to be Agamemnon, and they're like, it's like the Greeks getting ready, whatever, in position, ready for battle. And then Agamemnon was like, hey guys, let me be in the front, in the middle, and you guys stand all behind me so it'll look cool. And that's exactly how it is. You can see like Agamemnon like in the front, like walking super slow, and like the Greeks are all like charging.
That's great.
I think it's really,
That's
it's
funny.
really funny.
Yeah, that's funny. I do want to. You mentioned Sinon, played by Elliot Page. Sorry, Elliot Page, formerly known as Ellen Page. I'm old, so that's why it just came out naturally. I wasn't trying to like be like hating on her, hating on him rather. But I thought he was fine. I thought he was fine.
I think he did a really good job with his dialogue.
He's always been a very good actor. That hasn't changed. Okay. But I don't think his character was necessary. In fact, his character is not even in the Odyssey. His character is mentioned in Virgil's The Aeneid, which is an epic poem written like 2,000 years later. Well, I don't know when Homer actually wrote it, but the Trojan War is supposed to take place like 1300 BC or something. Virgil lived around like the 1st century AD, like around the time of Caesar and stuff. Like, so he wrote the Aeneid, which is like a spinoff of the Iliad and the Odyssey. It's actually a spinoff of like the Iliad. So it's one of the Trojan, Aeneas, the hero, one of the heroes of Troy. He escapes and he sails off, and he winds up like he has this like it's almost like the Iliad and the Odyssey in reverse. First, he has his great sea adventure where he goes to all these different islands and has all these adventures with monsters, and then he finally lands in present day Italy, and they kind of make it. And then he has all these wars in present day Italy where he kind of like takes over and conquers it, and they kind of make it seem like he is the precursor or the godfather of Rome. Okay. And so that's like Roman history written by Virgil. But in that, they mention that Sinon was left with the Trojan horse. But he's not even mentioned in the Odyssey or the Iliad,
so
or the Iliad for that matter.
But I
and then the whole backstory. The whole backstory was completely fabricated for the Christopher Nolan movie, where like he volunteered for the war instead of, what's his name's character, Robert Pattinson's character.
Yeah,
I forgot to include him in the
his
casting
name
call.
Is...
He's the main suitor. In the '97 version, he's played by Eric Roberts. And I just want to say, I think both Eric Roberts and Robert Pattinson did a stand-up.
Antinous.
They both did a great job playing him. They both were excellent. Yes. Eric Roberts has always been an excellent actor. He's great in this. He makes a great bad guy. And I don't think I've ever seen Robert Pattinson as a bad. No, I have actually. He did a cameo in like this other movie where he was a bad guy.
Fall off is really making me mad.
You want to fix it?
Well, I think you should fix it.
Okay. I'll just hold it.
Okay.
And I thought Robert Pattinson was a great bad guy. They were both excellent in that character.
I think he did really good.
Yeah, I do
really
too.
Good.
In fact, I think he's one of the best actors in that movie.
I agree. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop you for a second.
I want to know, who did you like best as Odysseus?
I think that's hard because
they're both great, right?
Because I think that
Armand Assante was
guy is the more accurate Odysseus.
Yes, I agree.
So if we're talking about playing a character, he did better. Yeah. And Odysseus himself, you're actually not really supposed to love him. Reading the story, I didn't love the character because of some of the choices he made.
He's kind of a dog.
So, but Matt Damon, I kind of like him more. He's more.
His character's more likable.
Hero.
His character's way more likable.
More likable. So, I guess and he's also he's a better actor. So, like, I mean.
Although Armand Assante's good, but Matt Damon's better.
Matt Damon's a better actor. So, solely like for the movies themselves and not the Homer story, I will pick Matt Damon. But if we're talking better Odysseus, more accurate Odysseus, I will pick
Armand Assante.
I'm
100% with you. I thought Greta Scacchi was a very beautiful and believable Penelope, as was Anne Hathaway. I thought they were
Yeah.
both great.
I think Anne Hathaway was actually really, really good
Although I
as
think-
Penelope.
I think
like-
Vanessa Williams was, well, not only was she prettier as Calypso than Charlize Theron, who is still very beautiful, but Vanessa Williams is just like a knockout.
Stunning.
She was the prettiest actress in all both the movies, and she looked more like Calypso should look. But I think Charlize Theron is a stronger actress for sure, much stronger actress than Vanessa Williams, and so she did a better job because of that.
Mhm.
And I also want to just compare.
Oh, I wrote down about
wanna compare-
Telemachus. Is that what we're talking about?
No, well,
No?
yeah. Telemachus. We can do that next.
Okay, so let me find my note.
The
about
97
Telemachus.
version, the guy who played
I said
Telemachus
Telemachus is
is
so unlikable.
Alan Stenson is terrible. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. He's not a very well known actor, and he's not a good actor. And his character is so
I wrote
whiny
down
and
that he's
awful.
so unlikable that I'm actually siding with the suitors at some
Yes,
point. It's
I
like I'm
know.
like,
I know.
ugh.
What did you think of Spider-Man? How was he?
I liked Telemachus.
He was
I feel
good.
like
He felt a little too
um,
old for the role, but
I don't know. I didn't think he felt that old. I mean, I don't know. I think that I
Yeah.
wasn't really thinking about that. His acting wasn't like, wow, but it wasn't bad at all. It was.
no, he was fine.
It was good.
He was
yeah.
fine. Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah. I liked
It-
it.
It's weird though. And one thing I noticed, and that's just not necessarily a bad thing, but like everybody had an American accent in the new one, including him, who was British. So it was a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I also noticed he called his parents like mom and dad, which I feel like is kind of not very time accurate. Probably be like
No.
mother and father, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just like kind of a
Yeah, and
Who
then
knows?
and then also for Menelaus, the king of Sparta, the other guy, Nicholas Clay, was fine. He's classically trained actor. He was just fine, but not a very large role. But John Bernthal, although I like him as the Punisher and I like him in The Walking Dead, I like him in pretty much everything. But he did not fit in. He did not seem like he was the king of Sparta or even should be in ancient Greece. I felt like he was playing a New Yorker like he does in
Really?
every other movie. Like, yeah. He's like
I
he was like a wise guy. And I'm like, this is the king of Sparta, huh? Okay.
I don't know.
That's
I
the
didn't
best you
really
got?
notice it that much. It wasn't that big of a scene. I didn't really.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it too much.
It just fell out of place. It took me out of the movie a little bit. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Okay, you're kind of getting to the end of your notes, and I have a lot of stuff I haven't
Well,
said.
get in there.
So I'm gonna cut you off.
I
for a
got
minute.
more, but go ahead.
Okay, let me just. So number one, I
Okay.
think the special effects were not very good, but in the '97. But like, what can you do? I just personally like.
They were good for its time
I guess.
and for the budget.
Okay. I like the final war scene much better in the 26 version.
100%.
I
Yeah.
actually love that scene.
It was
truly.
great. It was great.
And I also loved the Trojan horse. Like I loved that we got to be inside. I loved that. I
That
thought
was brutal,
that was so
man.
Cool.
I never saw it depicted like that, where they were
And
like
they're
a couple of them
drowning.
drowned. It was like,
And I was like,
whoa.
whoa, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Okay. I think I don't know, maybe it's just something that I think about, but
Mhm.
like Matt Damon's like build, he's very muscular. For someone who was like consistently starving, he would not have like had all that muscle on him all the time.
Well,
Like, they were like
but he's
starving
well.
for weeks and
he's-
weeks, and he
but
was still like muscular.
Well, he's
and-
shredded, so he would have all those abs, and you would be able to see all.
But he had, like,
because you can see his obliques and his abs. Like, and if you're like really like malnourished, if you're not
I think
malnourished,
if
but if like
you would
you're
lose a lot of
yeah.
muscle here, though, if you were malnourished.
well, maybe they're implying he had more muscle before everything.
That was like, still, dude, you were like starving for like a couple of years. You were like, you barely had food.
I thought he looked good. I was.
Well, he looked great, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, it was a little
He's
like.
like 55 years old. He looked amazing. He looked the best shape ever. He looked better than he did in
Yeah.
the Bourne movies.
Okay, this is about the 97 version. So also, they didn't even include Hermes in the
So
new
that's
one.
that's a big thing. The gods.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's just talk about God's period, and then I'll get into this.
Okay.
So, you go ahead. Actually, you
Old
can-
movie, all the gods are involved.
and we like know for sure that
Yeah.
the gods are involved. It's
Yeah,
like
they're actors playing the gods. They're all in it, and they're all doing their role. That's their part. That's in the story, and they all have like a part to play in the story.
and let me also add,
especially the wind god, the
multiple-
whole big thing with the bag of wind.
multiple people see the gods. Multiple people
Yeah,
see the gods.
not
Let me
just
just say that,
Odysseus,
not
yeah.
just Odysseus. Now the 26th version. Go ahead.
Well, there's only one god that you see throughout the movie,
That is
played by
Athena.
Athena, played by Zendaya. And
Zendaya.
And then at the end,
We see that
it's might not even really be Athena. It might just be his imagination or his guilt, like causing him to either imagine her or whatever,
so we see the same face that Odysseus has been picturing for Athena as this. I think it's like
priestess
a
girl,
girl.
a girl who works at the temple of Athena.
She's a Trojan girl.
Yes.
And her head is being cut off at the same time that the statue of Athena is being cut off in Troy.
So they're murdering this poor girl, this innocent poor girl. The Greeks are just it's terrible. It's a terrible scene. It's very brutal, and that's another thing that I kind of want to get to. Like the brutal realism of the war itself is really depicted very emotionally in the new movie.
Yeah,
but the Trojan War, there's more of it depicted in the old version, including like they show a lot of the Trojan War in the old version. They actually show the battle between Achilles and Hector, which is kind of cool.
New one, yeah.
No, in the old one. In the old one.
Oh, you're right. In the old one, yes.
Yeah, and but if you want to see all that, just go watch Troy with Brad Pitt.
But yeah, so the gods are kind of like, if you think so, in the new one.
Yeah. So basically, he sees. So he's like seeing everyone just get brutally murdered in the temple, and like this poor girl, and he sees this poor girl, and they're holding her, and she's like crying, and she's looking right at him while she's crying, and then they chop her head off, and at the same time,
he sees
some other Greeks are chopping the head off the statue of Athena. So they do mention that, like, there's a thing where like you never kill a stranger, or you never like treat a stranger badly because you don't know if it might be a god in disguise. And so like that's mentioned a bunch in this new one. And so you could either believe, well, she wasn't really there are no gods involved, and he's just seeing her because of his guilt. Mm-hmm. Or you can believe
that's Athena.
The gods are involved. Athena is talking to him, and she was really there. She was actually the priestess girl who they beheaded. That was really Athena in disguise, and that's why it was so poignant that her head was chopped off at the exact same time as the statue's head was chopped off. So you can believe one or the other. Kind of leaves it up to you.
Yeah, and I like that.
I do too. I kind of.
Okay, now let me get. Oh, also before I get off track with my notes, I really like that Odysseus kind of took a moment to reflect, and he was like, damn, I feel bad about Troy.
Yeah, and that's not, so that's definitely not true to the poem, and that's not how Odysseus is.
That also makes Matt Damon more likable, like we said. Okay. That's just what kind of makes a character feel like more of a hero to me.
Yeah, I feel the 97 version is definitely more faithful to Homer, although there are some things cut out, and some of the things that were cut out of that one were included in the 2026 one. But it's still overall, especially as the whole theme of it and the character of Odysseus, definitely more faithful to Homer. The gods, were central to the story in the poem, and the gods aren't in the new one. So,
they're barely in the new one, I would say. They're mentioned.
Yeah, they're mentioned for sure. The older one is definitely more family friendly. But the effects are dated, and then the whole Roman style costumes are like, but I definitely think there's better acting in the 2026 film. There's better visuals. It is historically inspired Mycenaean look, and it's much more emotional, and it takes greater liberties. But I guess if you just go into it as like, just how is this movie period, like, forget about how true it is to the Homer poem. How is this as a movie? Mm-hmm. It's a really good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah, it is. It is.
And overall, like, the story isn't too different. That it's like not the same story.
They don't go that far where you would like, I barely recognize this as the Odyssey. No, it's the Odyssey.
It's the Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah, and it hits all of them. Most of the major points it hits. But the fact that it leaves out the gods, or most of the gods, that was a little disappointing. I think I read somewhere that Christopher Nolan originally did want to include all the gods in the movie, but I don't know what changed his mind. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is for the 97 version. I really, really hated the Hermes scene as a whole, and the special effects with it. It's kind of like glowing, floating guy. I really didn't like the way it looked, and I also didn't like the scene because don't think this is the way it happens in Homer's scene, but I think it's far more fitting that Odysseus uses his cleverness to figure out Circe's food thing to save his crew, like in the new one. I don't think that it makes a lot of sense for Hermes to just like tell him about it and like give him the
That
um,
scene, by the way.
the what is it called?
Yeah, where the men turn into pigs
Yeah.
by the
in the new one, that's so gross.
by-
It's cool, but
the witch is
Circe.
Circe. Yeah, dude,
it's cool.
it's a gruesome scene, but
Yeah.
it's very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
And she's a great actress, the woman who played Circe.
Yeah.
It was Bernadette Peters who played Circe in the new one. Oh, I also want to mention both movies completely remove the island of the Lotus Eaters.
So I
but they include the lotus, them eating the lotus
in both,
but both in two different ways. One's with Circe,
and one is with Calypso. So I wrote down here. I think I like the new one had Odysseus figure it out with his cleverness. He's like their rings. No, like he like figured it out. I don't like that Hermes had to help him with the like.
With Circe, yeah,
with Circe.
Yeah.
And I wrote down, I don't like that he must cheat on Penelope because it feels out of character. Because I don't know, I just think the whole time. Well, I know that it happens in the Homer poem, but I don't like that at all either.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like a lot of this story has to do with their love, and I just don't like how he's just excused and allowed to do that.
Well, here's the thing, and you know, much like
Penelope, literally is like abstinent for like 20 freaking years.
Yeah.
Like
honestly, like one thing I'll say, much like the characters, or in the Bible, all the heroes in Greek mythology are very flawed. None of them is like perfect. They all have character flaws. So, and that's I guess that's Odysseus' one of his character flaws is like, yeah, he's not faithful to Penelope. Like he does cheat on her both with Circe and Calypso. Although in the 2026 one, he does not sleep with Circe. No. Just they imply that he sleeps with Calypso, but they don't like show it. Yeah. But in the older version, there's like love scenes for both.
Basically.
Yeah, they definitely let you know he's getting on with both of them.
I don't like that.
I know.
Whatever.
So they definitely, that's why I said they make Matt Damon's Odysseus way more likable.
Right. In the OG Homer version, the lotus flowers are separate. They're like a separate island with the lotus eaters. And in the old one, they included it with Circe. That's kind of how he was there for like a long time. And then the new one, they did it with Calypso. Mm-hmm. Neither are accurate in that way.
Yeah.
I prefer the Hades scene. Oh, I talked about that. Oh, I wish they included the cattle from the sun god and the weird kind of talked about that too. Yeah. I really think that makes so much more sense for the crew to die than just having them die in the whirlpool. It doesn't even happen in the old
cinematography of this new one is fantastic, by the way.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I
as is
Nolan didn't use any CGI.
And the score too.
Well, I don't know about
he used CGI, but he did
a lot of the scenes in the
practical effects.
Are
a lot of practical.
Like they went out to the sea.
And he did a lot of practical effects. He's not big on green screen at all. No, they really went to locations.
They went to a Greek cave to film this Cyclops scene. They were like inside.
Let's talk about the Cyclops scene. Although we're both disappointed that they didn't do the nobody thing, that scene was scary.
And I saw that they use a puppet animatronic for the Cyclops. Yeah, it was a real thing.
Yeah, I was not scared out of my wits, but I was on the edge of my seat for that scene. It was definitely really
cool.
Yeah, it was really good.
I think I liked the way that they did the Cyclops.
That was scary. And then the Circe scene where she's turning them into pigs was very unsettling.
Cool.
Very unsettling.
I love that pig scene.
But in a good way,
Yeah. Okay, and then are we ready to talk about the final scene? Because I have stuff to say about that.
Which final scene? Like the fight scene?
The battle, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
they both stay true to the book as far as or the poem rather, as far as what he has to do, the task he has to complete.
Yeah.
That they all try to complete and fail, which is very important. And I'm glad that neither one of them tried to change that around.
Yeah.
Where he has to, they have to string the bow and then shoot an arrow through the axes. I'm very happy that was pretty much the same. He does kill all the suitors. With most of the suitors with a little help of his son.
However, I like that. Okay, so let me. I love how in the new one they have this huge moment of like change when and it's a sound and it like lifts everyone when he strings the bow and he goes like bang and everyone's like, oh, like right?
Yeah, because they know it's him.
And then Anne Hathaway is like, close the door, like she knows exactly what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And I love that. And
Yeah.
however, I like because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the new one, I believe that Athena doesn't disguise him. It's someone else.
No, he just puts a robe over him.
He puts the disguise on because
he wears a disguise, but
because
like
Agamemnon tells him to in
Hades.
In Hades.
Yeah.
Not in Hades, in the underworld.
Oh, in the underworld. Yeah, that's Hades.
Hades is the god.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Well, okay, I was called the underworld Hades, but okay, all right. But he is the god too.
He basically tells him like, don't expect to come home in open arms. Disguise yourself.
Yes.
So that's what he does. He doesn't have like Athena like put a spell on him, which actually does happen in the Homer version, which the old one does, where he has a spell on him.
And that happens in the '97 movie as well.
That's what I'm saying in the old one.
Yeah.
He has a spell on him. He looks old. He looks like a beggar.
Yeah.
In the other one, he just wears like a robe.
Yeah.
But I love how, in the old one, he like you can see the arrow like, and then it whips back. The camera goes back, and it's Odysseus, and everyone's like,
oh no.
Yeah, and I love that. I just think like that.
That was cool.
That was so cool.
But then the fight scene itself,
so
not as well choreographed.
The battle, I like both in different ways.
Yeah.
I definitely think that the new one is so much cooler.
Yeah.
Odysseus is just so like badass. Like he's
Yeah.
so cool. But I like how Telemachus helps him in the old one, I guess. You know, it's
he
cool
does help him.
because he has less of a part, and like it helps me like him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just because you really don't like him that much. Or I don't.
In both the versions, Telemachus is a bit of a. He's not a wuss, but he's definitely not as badass as his dad.
No,
you know, he's not even close.
But I don't really. I'm not like when Tom Holland's like, you know, doing it. I don't really. Yeah. But the old Telemachus is like.
He's
he
annoying.
Gives me like Luke Skywalker vibes. Like, I just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
especially Luke Skywalker in Episode 4.
Yes, it's
so
annoying.
Yeah,
like,
it's so true.
Yeah. All right. So that's most of my notes. So
that's good. Yeah. So I will say that yeah, overall, like I said, I mean, if you want something that's a little more faithful to the epic poem, then you definitely, and maybe even a little more family friendly, you're definitely want to go to the '97 version. I recommend just watching both, actually. But if you want just as a overall cinematic experience, you're not that worried about whether it's true, then the 2026 version is the better movie.
Way to go,
it's the better movie. I mean, just a movie as a whole.
Overall,
it's a better movie. And I'm going to go ahead and say my grades.
Okay.
So the 2026 version, I'm going to give it an A. I'm not going to give it an A+. It's not a perfect movie. There are some tiny little things here and there. It's not my favorite Christopher Nolan movie either. I would say The Prestige is probably my favorite overall Christopher Nolan movie, and The Dark Knight trilogy comes a close second. I love all three movies almost equally. I think they're fantastic. I do like a lot of his other movies. The ones that are a little confusing, I don't probably like as much as others, but they're great. He's a great director. There's no doubt about it. But this is definitely a very well made movie. He did a very good job, and it's an easy A. Now, I would just want to throw a shout out to the Rusted Junk, my boys over at Rusted Junk, Charlie and Joe, and formerly Dom, who came back for a guest appearance because they just put out a review of the Odyssey. Go watch that when you get a chance. And Dom came back as a special guest because he's a huge Greek mythology fan like us. And they got him back for this, and they all reviewed it. I'll go ahead and just their scores. I won't tell you who scored what, but one of them scored a 4 out of 10
for the new one.
Yeah, they didn't review the old one like we're doing. Another one scored I think it was a 6.5 out of 10, and then the third one scored a 10 out of 10.
Okay. Wow. A range of.
Yeah, quite a range. So it's definitely a good. It's a short one too. It's like a half an hour long. I was actually hoping it'd be longer because I love their podcast, and I love when they review movies. So anyway, check out Rusted Junk, their review of the Odyssey. But yeah, I'm giving it an A. And then as far as the old one, I'm gonna give it a B-. I still have a lot of love for it. I have it on DVD. When we watched it 2 days ago. It was probably like the 4th or 5th time I've seen it. And I just love Greek mythology so much. Even when it's done not great, I'm still going to watch it. And there's another great miniseries called Jason and the Argonauts that came out like a year later or maybe a year before. And starring Jason London or his twin brother. I can't remember which one. But it's great. And it's wonderful. I love it. And I hope they do a big epic Jason of the Argonauts movie too, by the really amazing director. That would be cool. I will say this. I think there needs to be, and of course some time needs to pass, maybe in another 20 years or so. We need to have like a nice 8 or 10 part series on Netflix or Amazon.
Really quick, let me just say my
Staying
grades.
really, really true to the
Homer's
Odysseus story. Like, include all the islands, include all the gods, but don't maybe let it be as hokey as the 97 miniseries. Let it be more serious, like the 26 Nolan picture,
Yes.
you know?
Okay.
Would you agree? That would be
I
pretty
agree
cool?
with your grade for the old one. I think it's a B-. I like the accuracy. Which is why I'm gonna give the new one an A-, just because I have an attachment with the story,
All right.
and a couple things that you're missing, and it just makes me a little bit.
Yeah.
So just because of that, I'm giving it an A-, just because I have attachment to certain things that I didn't get. So that's my thing, just the accuracy to the story, and also just I don't know, little things. But I would definitely agree. I would love to see. I would definitely watch like a whole season. I agree. 8 episodes sounds really good, and just detailed and just well done. I would love to see like a Christopher Nolan, like the way he did the movie, but
extended,
longer, and everything is included and accurate to the Homer version.
Yeah.
Just because I love that story.
But
I think it deserves it.
But not hokey.
Right. I think it really deserves the whole story to be told, because I think it's such a good story. So
I agree. Oh, let's get controversial real quick.
Are you sure?
Because there was so much controversy surrounding this new version of the Odyssey, in particular about the cast and the diversity of the cast.
Okay.
How did you feel about that? Were you a little, since you're such a someone who's like so true to like the source material, were you disappointed that they were all like Greek looking actors, or that they, because Odysseus' crew has an Asian American on there. He's got I don't know if his second in command was like I don't know if he's Indian or Arabian,
like Middle Eastern
of some sort. And then of course,
honestly, can I be honest?
What's her name who plays Helen of Troy and the twin sister? Yeah. And she's in it, and obviously,
can I be like so real? Like, I didn't even realize. Like, I felt like it had nothing to do with the story. I mean, like, I guess if we're talking about accuracy, and you're like, someone could make the argument that it makes it less accurate.
Yeah.
But I feel like that thought didn't even cross my mind when I was watching it. Like, oh, they don't really look that Greek, because then you can also make the argument that neither does Tom Holland, neither does Anne Hathaway. Like, none of these people really look that Greek. They're like kind of have like lighter features and everything. And I don't know. I feel like I never thought of that. Like, these people don't really look Greek. It's not like, what I'm saying? I don't know. I just didn't really think of it like.
Okay. Now
I didn't really care. I think that the casting choices were really good. So
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
This is a fantasy movie. So I'm not really considering it historical so much. And so it did not bother me a bit. Not at all. And I thought, as long as you get a good actor to play the role, it really doesn't matter to me. That's because it's a fantasy movie. However, if you had done that with the movie Troy, which is supposed to be like a historical depiction of the Iliad, it would have bothered me. Like, what are you doing? Like you're trying to be as historically accurate as possible. You took all the fantasy elements out of it, but you're putting this whole diverse cast in for what? Just to like check some boxes? Like, no, like I liked Troy the way it was, and they made everyone look like they're supposed to be Greek. But for a fantasy
so you
movie,
think that everyone looks Greek in Troy? You would say,
for sure, yeah, and or Trojan, whatever.
Okay.
But for a fantasy movie, like, I don't care. like who cares? It doesn't matter. It's a
Yeah.
fantasy. Like it's
I don't
not
know.
it's
I
not
think that-
it's not history.
I think that people like to look for problems. I don't
They
think,
do. And then the only other thing I would say is when I thought Elliot Page was gonna play, or they were saying he might play um, uh, Achilles. He's only a character in one of my comic books.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Because I didn't even think Brad Pitt was big enough to play Achilles. Like,
Achilles is a great
when they said
warrior.
Brad Pitt was going to be Achilles, I was like, he's too skinny to play Achilles. Although I will say, like, Brad Pitt did puff up pretty good to play the role for Troy.
Dad, look
and
at that bug.
he's probably
Can you kill it really quick? There's a bug
Okay.
right there.
And he was probably about as jacked as he's ever been before and after in that movie. So at least he tried his hardest. But even that, like, I would expect somebody even stronger than Brad Pitt to play
Because Achilles is
the
described
greatest warrior
is always
ever of
described
all
as a
time.
great warrior. He's
And
like
so when they're like,
indestructible,
Elliot
invincible.
Page is going to be Achilles, I'm like, that's just stupid. He's like 5'1" and skinny as a stick. Why would he play Achilles? But then he didn't. He played Simone, and he was fine.
Yeah.
So
I get
did
that
good
if a
job.
character
Sinone
is
or
like
whatever, yeah.
known to be, and also
Yeah.
I would be pissed if some like huge dude was supposed to play like some like delicate character. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and Lupita
Nyong'o
is beautiful.
and she's a good actor.
But like Helena Troy is supposed to be the most beautiful woman. Yeah, she's super beautiful. Like I see her as no problem. She's Helena Troy. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, but I did, even though like we're talking about diversity, and I didn't have a problem with diversity because it's a fantasy movie. I still think John Bernthal was a bad choice to play King Hag. He just feels like a New Yorker. He just feels like it just took me out of it.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't even think his character wasn't that big, so I
And
didn't
he's
really
a good
think of it that
actor.
much.
He's just like, oh no,
He's kind of he has a thing, and he kind of sticks to that.
Yeah. He's almost like a character actor. He's kind of like the same guy and everything. And so like, yeah, I didn't see him as the king of Sparta. So that took me out of it a little bit. But so that's why it's an A. It's not an A+ for me, but it's definitely, I almost gave it an A-. But then the more I pondered and reflected on the movie, the more I just thought, I really walked out of there going, I really loved that.
Mm-hmm.
I walked out of that movie and going, I loved that. I enjoyed it. I am notorious for having to pee all the time. I sat through the whole thing without a single pee break. That's a miracle for me.
That was impressive.
Yeah. So there you go. That's our reviews of both the 1997 and 2026 versions of the Odyssey. We hope you enjoyed another episode of Rewind GenX podcast with Matt and Allie. Before we go, are we going to do... I know if you watched the last episode, we said we're going to do Labyrinth next.
I'm sorry, guys. We literally tricked you guys, but it's okay. We don't really care.
So are we going to do Labyrinth next, or are we going to skip it again?
Let's low-key just skip it. If you really want Labyrinth, comment down below.
There you go. If we get enough comments saying, no, do Labyrinth, please, we'll do it.
I feel like no one really...
But neither one of us is really that amped to do it.
See Labyrinth. That was kind of a spur of
There's
the
a
moment.
reason I haven't seen it in the last 40 years, ever.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted to. So, but if you really want us to do it, comment and we'll do it.
Yeah.
But if we get no comments, we're not doing it. So we're going to leave it open.
We'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, we'll leave it up to you. And then I tell you what, if no one comments about Labyrinth, we are going to do a movie next that we did get a comment on. Like 2 episodes ago. I think his name was Mike Weaver. Wink, like I don't know him. I think his name is Mike Weaver.
I think maybe.
I don't like go to church with him or anything. I'm not like friends with him or anything. But he did say, you got to do Spies Like Us. And I love Spies Like Us. Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, can't go wrong. So if no one comments about Labyrinth, we'll do Spies Like Us next. If we get a couple of comments about Labyrinth saying, please do Labyrinth, then we'll do Labyrinth, and then we'll do Spies Like Us. Okay?
Okay, guys.
Okay.
So this has been Rewind GenX podcast with Matt and Allie.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Allie.
God bless.